Thursday Buddha and the Kata, Puja, the prayer for praying to those born on Thursday, and to this particular Buddha posture, which is this is called a Bpaang, which means posture. And the Thursday Buddha shows the Buddha in meditation posture, sitting under the Bodhi tree in the place of his enlightenment. After the Buddha had conquered the Mara and his armies, he was filled with Piti, which means rapture, filled with rapture. And he attained the will to continue entering into ever deeper meditative states, the Jhana, the absorption states, one after the other in sequence. And by this time the sun was setting, but his rapture and his delight in having conquered his defilement was so great that he had the energy to continue without need of rest. In the first watch of the early evening, he was able to pass through the 4 levels of Jhana. That's the Patamajhana, the Tutiyajhana, the Dtatiyajhana and the Jatutijhana. The 4th Jhana, Jhana, the formless state. And he left the conscious state of material existence. In the next stage of his meditation, which was the second watch, excuse me, it was already dark and evening had begun. He then attained the Catubhatayana and attained the Tippajakhu, which means the divine eyes, and the supernatural mind. And he was able to see the birth and the death and the extinguishing of all beings in the universe, including his own. As a result of this, in his third watch, he was then able to destroy all of his defilements, and he was able to trace the sequence of creation, arising, becoming, and the dissolution, death, and disappearance of all beings in existence. Through examining the sequence of becoming and tracing it forwards and backwards in both directions, he was hence able to understand, and having understood, this is how he taught us about the Paticcasamuppada, the wheel of the chain of dependent origination, the wheel of life, becoming and death, becoming, life and death. And as of this moment, when he attained this, he became the Samma Sambuddho, the properly self-enlightened Buddha. And then in his 4th watch, which was just around the time of the dawn, he raised his mind even further and entered a state higher than ever, to a state of enlightenment that he had never been before in any case of enlightenment, of his previous enlightenments to great truths. And he exclaimed out loud, "Since all of my wanderings and searchings in all of my countless lives, in search of the architect of our sufferings, which is craving itself, I have never seen nor found him. And now you, great architect, you shall never build your house in me again, for I have destroyed its foundations. I have ripped down my roofs. My mind is free from the conditioned things, the sankhara, which are the creators of the cravings which hold me here. I have arrived at the end of desire and craving." And then a great miracle occurred. The earth began to tremble, and flowers began to bloom on all the trees and plants. All of the devas in heaven came with flower garlands and offered them in celebration of the fact that a Buddha had been born on the earth, had awoken on the earth, a living Buddha. Buddhist people of great faith throughout the ages have thus, because of this, created statues and images of the Buddha in this stance, this posture, which represents the moment of his enlightenment. And they have created it in order to rever and remember this moment of his enlightenment for all time in their hearts. This kind of image for remembrance of the Buddha is called Puttanussati or Buddhanussati. And this particular Pang or stance posture is called the Pang Dtrasarū, Pang Dtrasarū, the Enlightenment posture. And the Kata or prayer for this particular Buddha image in this posture goes like this. Purentam poti sampare niputtang morayo niyang yena sangvihita tarakhang mahasatang vanejara jarisang vaya mantapi neva sakhingsu tanhitung. And so that wasn't very fluent, so I shall do it again for you. Purentam poti sampare nipattang marayoniyang yena sangvihitarakhang mahasatang vanejara jirasang vayamantapi neva sakhingsu kanhitung. One more time. Purentam poti sampare nipattang morayo niyang yena sangvihitarakhang mahasatang vanejara jirasang vayamantapi neva sakhingsu kanhitung. I have to apologize because the first time I always chant slowly, and I find it more difficult to chant slowly than fast. So I always make a slight pronunciation mistake on the first time. That second time was much more correct, and we shall do it one more time fluently. Purentam poti sampare nipattang morayo niyang yena sangvihitarakhang mahasatang vanejara jirasang vayamantapi neva sakhingsu kanhitung. That is the Kata สวดบูชาพระประจำวันเกิดวันพฤหัสบดี The Kata for chanting in Busha to the birthday Buddha of Thursday. Purentam poti sampare nipattang morayo niyang yena sangvihitarakhang mahasatang vanejara jarisang vayamantapi neva sakhingsu kanhitung. Sir John Spencer for the Buddha Magic Project, signing off.